So hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a Taric support commentary. Before I get too much more into the commentary, just wanted to do another quick announcement that I have started to do private one-on-one coaching lessons. Right now I'm having a discount, so you only have to do $15 for a lesson, and so far quite a few people have already signed up for lessons with me, so that's been a really fun experience, just getting to know you guys a bit better and getting to help you guys improve. So if you still are interested in getting one-on-one coaching from me, I still have some time slots available, and I'm going to keep the price range still at this amount, only for a bit longer, so definitely recommend that if you ever want to try getting private coaching, you should do so before I bump up the price. Anyways, going back to this commentary, this is going to be Ezreal Taric lane versus a Twitch Sona. I think in general, Sona's kind of annoying against Taric because she's really good at poking me out, and it's kind of on me to punish the Sona for mispositioning and just trying to negate as much of her poke as possible with my heals and my shields. So even at level 1, I think a mistake a lot of people make is that you can see how Sona's being so aggressive with poking, but I think what a lot of people tend to forget, even just not on people like Taric, but on Thresh, is that if the Sona goes up to try to poke you, like if she throws a Q auto at you, she's also in range to get stunned by your E. So right now, I'm just trying to wait until I see Sona misposition by walking up to poke. I'm just going to absorb the poke and just try to stun her back and try to all-in her right there. So like right here is a really good example. She tried to go up for poke, and then I immediately punish it with a stun. I even ignite her because I'm so sure we can kill her since she's so fragile. But unfortunately, the Ezreal ends up wasting his flash. I'm not sure why he did that, because we just needed to burn her flash, and then we can all hit her level 2. So now that her flash is down, my new goal is that I want to help shove the lane so we get level 2, try to all-in them again. So I'm already trying to hit the creeps as much as possible so we get the shove in. And as soon as this creep dies, we're going to hit level 2. So we're already going to start to walk up for a stun. And now I'm already going for the stun right here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to run quite down. I think I got creep blocked like that, which really sucks because if I landed the stun right there, Ezreal could easily just throw out like a Q auto E, kill the Sona. That would have been first blood right there. But I was really fortunate that I did my stun right there, so that was really on me. That was my B. But now that they hit level 2, we have to back off because now they got heals, Twitch got his W, so we just have to run. Now I'm going to try to throw another stun to stall them right here. The Twitch flashes over my stun, but he unfortunately is not going to get the kill on the Ezreal. I was able to throw out another W in time to negate that one auto. So now that we're really low, I'm trying to heal Shyvana. Yo, Shyvana, I know you're doing Scuttle right now, but bot has no flashes, so even though you're Shyvana, you can't really gank. Just run down with Ghost. I'm sure you'll get kills. So Ezreal and I are just going to try to bait right now. You can see the Sona's just playing super greedy, and so I see her just running up, so I'm just going to go for the stun on her. Unfortunately, I don't really have enough shields and heals to go negate that ignite damage, which kind of sucks. But now the Shyvana can just run in and just kill the Twitch for free. That's pretty convenient that we got 2 kills for 1. And now we're just telling Shyvana to not push the wave because you can see right here, our Cannon minion is about to die, and we have a lot of caster minions on their side that's going to be hitting into our wave. So we know the wave is going to be pushing towards our side. So if I freeze the lane right here, the wave is going to be around here by the time Ezreal comes back. And this will give us a huge advantage because now Ezreal will get about 2 waves of experience and gold over the Twitch. So that's really good for us. Now my first buy, I go ahead and buy Nomad's Medallion and Boots with 800 gold. You could argue I could have gone for Sightstone, but I think it's a lot more important for me to get Boots, especially in this matchup, because if I'm able to run faster than Sona, it's a lot easier for me to get a stun on her and punish her more easily. So since I was planning to get Boots in this matchup, I figured I might as well upgrade to Nomads, so that way I can get more gold generation, in case something goes badly. But I think Nomads is a really good item to upgrade as soon as you can, because getting 40 gold for every coin is just really strong in general. Now, I really want to try to fight them again because we're level 3 and we have a level advantage over them. So I see the Sona is kind of mispositioned. I'm going to try to go in for the stun. I really wish the Ezreal went for an E over this creep wave and just continued to auto the Sona because we 100% could have killed her and killed the Twitch. But the Ezreal just didn't commit, which is really strange to me because he was so aggressive before that I don't know why he didn't want to commit right there. But unfortunately now they're going to hit level 3, so we kind of lost our level advantage now, so we kind of just have to sit back again. That's okay. It's not the worst thing ever if we sit back. We can kind of just wait until Shyvana is free for another gank. Yeah, you can see I'm just staying really far back, and you can see now that the Sona doesn't have flash, she's staying really far back too, because she doesn't want to try to risk getting stunned again and dying. So we're pretty open to free farming right now. Now we are level 4, so I'm going to try to go for another punish, get another stun on her. Gonna start running up, throwing up some autos, throwing out some Qs. This is not a bad trade overall. It's okay. Now Ezreal goes really aggressive for a Q. Misses that unfortunately, and Sona's about to die, but she's checking a health pot, so she does end up living. Now Elise is here, so I have to run. I have to flash immediately. Luckily for me, I'm able to get off a stun right here. It's really important that I got that stun off, because if I didn't get that off, she could have thrown a cocoon, and me trying to dodge cocoon and wasting time would have given Twitch enough time to throw autos at me. That's really good. I landed the stun before she was able to cocoon right there. Now we're just going to keep running. I'm staying a little bit farther back because I have no mana. I can't do anything right now. Ezreal does a nice juke on the cocoon, and at least takes one tower shot, and that pretty much causes her to die right there because Ezreal just goes in. And Ezreal ends up living with 20, so that was really fortunate for us. Now, even though we're recalling, I'm still telling Shyvana information about her lane. Like right here, I'm telling Shyvana, yo, Shyvana, Sona and Twitch still don't have flash. Like, they're trying to shove the wave as hard as possible, so they're expending all their spells right now. If you just run up, I'm very sure you can just kill them. So Shyvana's just waiting, and then now she's just gonna run up to a no mana, no flash Sona, and just destroy her. Like, what can the Sona do? So once again, just communicating with your jungler on what summoner spells are down is really important, because that was just a free kill right there. And if I didn't emphasize the fact that their summoner spells were down, that she wouldn't have even tried to go for that. So I see that Ezreal's freezing the lane, but I want to push because we know the Twitch just went back, and the wave was already pushing towards them anyways. So I'm trying to get some vision for us. But actually Shyvana wants to do Dragon, and I actually like this call a lot better, because Shyvana getting Dragon is good because she gets passive bonus, and it's an Ember Dragon. So note that as we're doing the Dragon, I'm making really good use of my passive right here. So you can see that every time I use a spell, I'm throwing out my 2 autos to use up my passive charges, and then I'm casting another spell immediately. So I was just doing Q, 2 autos, Q, 2 autos, Q, 2 autos, but then I was out of mana, so I used a W. So that's really good that you should always try to weave in auto attacks in between spell casts. That's really how you maximize your damage as a Taric. Now, in terms of skill points, I'm putting 2 points in the Q and then putting all the rest of my points in the E max first for more damage on my E. I think you only need 2 points in the Q because putting 2 points in the Q increases the maximum number of charges you can hold on Q. So at rank 2 you get 2 charges, obviously. That's, I think, more than enough than you need, because once you have 2 charges on your Q, you're pretty much able to constantly have uptime on your Q every time you use your 2 autos in between your spells. So I only like putting 2 points. Some people put more, but I like 2. Now, even though we do have a bit of lane advantage, we don't have Shyvana with us right now, and TF is also 6, so we're giving a lot of respect to them right now. Like, we know we can probably beat them in a 2v2, but it's really not worth trying to fight them. And I'd rather just play safe, heal up the Ezreal as much as we can. I would have liked to get 2 autos while I have a passive up, but that's okay. You can see how aggressive they're being. We know something's up, so try to go for a stun right here on the Sona, and now we see TF, so we're just gonna run. So I'm trying to split away from the Ezreal to see who he goes for. They do try to target the Ezreal. I throw out a shield to try to negate some of that damage. And what's really important right here is that as we're fighting, note that I'm not backing out at the same time, at the same direction as the Ezreal. I'm actually standing my ground and fighting. Ignore these cooldowns, but I actually didn't have any Q charges up. So I'm immediately going to try to go for 2 autos on my Q, just so I can get my Q charges back up for the Ezreal to heal him right here. And with that heal, even through the Ignite, I was able to heal just enough to keep the Ezreal alive. So that's just really important to have the conscious of mind that, you know, if they're not targeting me, there's no reason for me to go back, especially since Galio is also coming. So by getting off the extra 2 autos to give more charges to my Q, I was able to keep the Ezreal alive in that exchange, which is really, really good for us. Top lane also gets a 2v2, which is quite good. Now that the Shyvana got 2 kills, she's pretty strong, so that's pretty nice for us. Now, we are a little low, so I don't want to fight too much right now, but once again, if I see Sona's misposition, I definitely don't mind going for it right now. But I'm also kind of oob, so this is a little risky. I see Ezreal is ulting the wave, so this is a really good time for us just to shove, so I'm going to try to help shove the wave with Ezreal. They are playing quite aggro, and I am oob, so I don't really want to do this, but Sona actually ends up turning 6 and end up just bursting the Ezreal. So that was a bit unfortunate timing, that because we had no knowledge that they were going to be level 6. But I think the Ezreal should have been a little safer since I was oob. Yeah, so TPs, but I think that was kind of a waste. I guess we got a Twitch ult, but we didn't really get much out of that. Guess we got a heal as well from the Twitch. Now, I was thinking about recalling, but I'm actually choosing to stay. The reason why I stay is because I see that the Sona and Twitch are pushing. I can choose to freeze the wave right here, but if they try to stop my freeze, that's okay too, because I can at least farm this wave and get some money and experience, which is quite nice. I don't have to go back right now. Like, I could buy Sightstone, but I also don't think it's good to back at the same time. At a different time than my Ezreal. But I'm only doing it right now because I know the Twitch and Sona also recalled. So I'm pretty sure it's fine. So went ahead and bought Sightstone, got a refillable, got a pink ward, and now I'm running back bot immediately. But before I do that, I'm actually going to run a mid and drop some wards. I actually really like doing this a lot every time I buy my first Sightstone. Gonna leave one pink ward here, gonna leave one green ward right there. I really want this setup because this setup allows us to see if the TF is ever going to roam bot. Because if the TF does roam bot, what he's going to do is that he's going to shove mid, and then he's going to start running bot immediately. He'd maybe ult right around this area. So by covering these two spots, I crucially will see the TF a little bit ahead of time before he ults, and that like 1 or 2 seconds might be enough for us to get away in the future. But I do see the TF is missing, and since the Ezreal is not bot, I'm not going to walk back bot right now. I'm going to try to walk up top, but I see that the Shyvana is going to chase the Elise, and the Galio is already running up, so I'm pretty sure that they're going to win the fight. So I'm actually going to choose to walk back bot right now, because let's suppose I do walk up here, and we do end up fighting. Even in a 3v3, I'm pretty sure they're going to win, and me being there is only going to make them win very slightly more. And by me going top, it's going to put my Ezreal in a really bad position. So I make the decision to run back bot. I didn't really waste any time, because I kind of want to wait until the Ezreal's back here anyways, and I didn't really lose experience or anything by being bot instead of roaming mid. So it wasn't a terrible decision on my part. We do see most of them are top side, but I don't think there's a point in us trying to all in them right now. We can just chill out. No rush. Once again, Ezreal is not really a champion that needs to be constantly fighting. Like, he can stack up his tier and stuff. We can just take our sweet time. Yeah, we know all three of them are top, but once again, I get a nice stun off. Now, the Twitch actually ults, so I'm going to try to ult right now. Luckily, I get my ult off before I get stunned, so a lot of their damage right now is going to get negated. And once again, I'm just going to try to get off as many autos as I can. Like, note there, I threw out 2 autos, use my Q, threw out another 2 autos just to keep doing more damage. And that was a pretty even trade right there. We lost about the same amount of health, but luckily for me, I'm going to keep up our health because I can keep on using Qs and heals. Now, we get a really good trade-off right there. So what was really important is that I got the stun off the Sona. Ezreal actually ended up ulting and then flashing out, which is a really sick play. And then I'm going to try to keep him alive, but unfortunately I don't have enough heal damage. But I'm just going to club the Twitch as well. I know I accidentally fast-forwarded through that, but I think that was a pretty straightforward trade. I got the stun on the Sona. Ezreal was able to get off a nice clean ult, flashed out. Ended up being a 2-for-1 in our favor. And now I get to shove the wave for free, which is quite good. So we didn't really lose anything because I get a lot of this farm mini XP. They don't get this entire big minion wave. I get a lot of money too, so that's quite good. And I can clear this pink ward as well before I go recall. Just note that I'm dropping all my wards before I recall because I'm gonna get them refilled anyways. I don't think a lot of people do that. Now I will go ahead and start buying Merc Treads because if you look at their team, they have so much people with CC. They have like 4 people that do magic damage. So I think in most situations, I would get either Lucidity boots or I'd get Mobility boots on Taric because I think those 2 are the best. But in this game only, I'm getting Merc Treads just because I want to adapt to the situation a little bit better. And I'm also gonna try to build Ardent Sensor as soon as I can because our Shyvana is very, very strong. We have an Ezreal, we have a Yasuo, and all 3 of those guys benefit from Ardent Sensor very much. So I'm going to try to rush that item as soon as I can. I'm not even going to try to upgrade my Sightstone right now, because that's just how big of a priority it is. Try to go for a stun on the Sona. I miss, but the Sona's getting baited right now. So now that we've successfully baited them, we're just going to fight. It's a 3v3 and Galio's right here with an ult in case we need it. So I know we're 100% confident we're going to win this fight right here. So as we're charging in, I think it's important to assess like what I'm going to do right here, because I do have my ult, I have a stun, and I have to be really careful about what I use it on. So right now I am tethered to Ezreal. I could tether myself to the Shyvana, but I think what I'd rather do is that I'd rather keep my ult on an Ezreal right now, because my plan is that I want to dive with the Shyvana as she goes in. So I put the ult, and now I'm just going to leave the Ezreal, because I know that when Ezreal has his ult, they're not going to turn on him. So I put on my ult, and now I'm just going to follow Shyvana. I'm going to flash into range so she also gets ulted by me. And then now I'm going to try to get a stun off. I'm not in range for the Sono, so I'm going to go for the Twitch right here. Because I got the Twitch, we're able to chain CC him to death. So I think that was just really important for me to recognize that I want to try to get my ultimate on both Shyvana and Ezreal, and the only way I could do that was if I ulted the Ezreal and I flash forward with the Shyvana. I could have not flash forwarded with Shyvana and instead tethered her and then stay back with the Ezreal and ult him, but if I did that, then I would have been able to get this done on the Twitch, and I think it was a lot more important for me to aggressively flash in. I don't trust... I could try to get a stun off from the Shyvana if I tethered her, but I don't really trust that. I'd rather just get the stun myself. Now we get a free dragon as well, so this is quite good for us. So I'll go ahead and recall right now. Our new game plan is to go top lane, because we already took bot tower, we already took this dragon, so there's no reason for us to be bot side right now. And plus, this Yasuo is like pretty far behind, like, he's getting kind of wrecked by this Maokai. So I'm going to try to run top with the Ezreal just to help relieve some pressure. So just going to check that bush just in case someone is waiting there. Like maybe Maokai's waiting there for a flank. You never know. But now that they're pushing, I just want to stay in the area. We see the Maokai TP, and I know Shyvana is here. So this is a really good time for us just to dive this Maokai. Like I'm totally down. So before we dive, I want to ward this bush just in case someone's there. And turns out Elise is here. Now, I get Cocoon, and now we're just going to start the fight. So I don't have ult for this fight. However, I'm still going to stand my ground, and note how in this fight, I'm pretty much going to throw out my stun. In between every single spell, I'm just going to throw 2 autos. Like, if you 2 autos there, Q'd, throw another 2 autos, Q, throw out another 2 autos as soon as I step out of tower range. And I'm just constantly having my heal up. Like, I should be dead by now, but I healed 3 times in that fight. So, I bought so much time. TF ends up having to kill me right there by using gold card and stuff. And I bought my team enough, I tanked enough tower damage for my team to be able to kill Maokai and the Elise. That's pretty good for us. So that was just a really good example of really just abusing Taric's passive just to maximize the amount of healing I'm doing. And I finished Ardent Sensor, so now we're very, very strong. They don't get a TF kill. I'm not sure why the Galio did that, but whatever. I digress. Anyways, I'm going to run back mid right now. Our next objective should be Rift Herald, so I'm going to try to get that warded up. Go ahead and put 1 ward over this cliff, pop the scrying, put another ward right here. I saw the Sona right there, but I'm really just not scared of her just because she doesn't have a sight stone. I'm pretty sure she's alone, and I see the Maokai's mid, so I'm really not scared of clearing this pink by myself. However, I kind of tunneled in on this pink ward because I see, now just realize that Ezreal is just getting chased by this TF, and I think had I been right next to the Ezreal, this wouldn't have happened, so that's kind of my bad. Now, I'm going to try to farm this wave, but this is kind of a greedy play for me, because the Twitch and Sona end up just engaging on me. They end up using both their ults, which honestly I didn't expect, so I just end up dying. I actually could have ulted because it did have my ult, but I intentionally chose not to ult there, because as soon as I saw the Sona ult, I know there is probably no way I was going to live, because this tower is really low, they could just dive me easily. And so, I decided to wait on my ult, because if a fight comes up in the next, like, 30 seconds after I spawn, my ult will be really useful to have. And if I had use my ult right there to try to save myself up here, then my ult wouldn't be up for the next fight. So, gonna hang on to my ult, it's okay. I'm okay with giving up a death. It's not a big deal. But you see, my team is now gonna do dragon. Luckily, with the wards are prepared, we do see Elise is right here, so Shyvana is able to get the jump on her, which is quite good. She ends up wasting a lot for that. Now, I am here with my team, and now we're going to start the fight, so good thing I didn't use my ult, right? Because now we can use it for this fight. So, this is a little scary, just because Yasuo is not with us. Their Twitch isn't with them either, so it's going to be kind of a 4v4 right now. So I'm gonna ult right now, and now my goal is to try to zone out the TF and the Sona for my team. I have an ult, so I'm not really scared of them right now. I'm really close to dying, but luckily the Galio does ult me, which saves me. And now I'm just gonna try to kite back right now because my invulnerability is gonna run out, so I just have to run. Luckily, my team is just gonna destroy that TF. I get wrecked by the Maokai, but that's okay because I bought my team so much time with that ult that we're just gonna clean up the rest of them, which is quite good. I would say the only noteworthy thing I did outside of ulting and stuff like that was putting one ward inside this bush as I was dying. But yeah, that's a pretty nice fight for us. We didn't get the Rift Herald, but that's okay. Not too big of a deal. A one fight's always good. Now, Baron just spawned, and now I'm making a very aggressive call for my team to go for Baron. The reason why I go for this call is that 2 of them are still dead, and it just spawned, and I'm very, very sure they don't have vision of this area, because we just fought there. And even if they do see us, like, they don't have a ward inside this Baron pit, because, like, why would they ward this Baron pit? And with Taric, you can just throw out Q, 2 autos, Q, 2 autos. I'm constantly giving my team Ardent Sensor buffs. Like, look how fast his Baron falls. It's actually absurd. TF just goes in, because I think he tries to go for a Hail Mary on the Baron, but we just end up bursting him. Like, that's how fast we can do Baron with Taric. Like, constantly applying Ardent Sensor for your team is just so strong. Now, I was about to recall, but Shyvana actually ends up jumping in. So I'm going to try to get into range for a W on her, and I'm going to try to throw out a stun. And luckily, I was able to line up my stun so that I'm hitting the Elise right here, and I'm trying to aim so that the Shyvana also hits the Twitch. And I'm able to land both champions with the stun. That gives us enough time to kill both of them, which is quite good. It was pretty good foresight for me to cancel my recall, help the Shyvana. If I didn't get those stuns off, she would have died. Now, I went ahead and built a Locket. We're really far ahead, but I think a Locket's really good for us because, once again, negating a lot of damage is quite good. I don't know what the Yasuo is doing. He's honestly just kind of inting, but whatever. You can just do whatever. There's a third Infernal, so we're just going to go ahead and take that dragon. I'm going to try to go in for some wards. I see Galleys here, so I feel relatively safe, even though they're all somewhat in this area. Now, I kind of want to go mid, but I see that Ezreal's just kind of playing aggressively, so I actually realize that this is really bad. Like, I see the Maokai's here, the Elise is here. They might turn on my team, so I'm going to try to help them out right now. So, what's really important is that I want to watch what happens this fight. So, the Maokai goes on the Ezreal. Now, I know if I just give him the invulnerability, I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay. I don't think I need to peel for him. So since I have the tether on him, I'm just going to cast my ult, and now I'm just going to follow my Shyvana, make sure she gets the invulnerability as well. So I start running this way. Luckily, since we both got rooted, she got rooted in between me and the Ezreal, so either one of us could have given her the invulnerability. And this is 4 of us with invulnerability. Like, what do they do in the situation? The enemy team just has to run right now because they actually can't do anything. Like, they're all just panicking. They have to back off. And now we're just going to go in. Shyvana jumps in. I give her a stun. We're just going to blow up the rest of them because they all had to scatter because of my ult. It just shows you the power of Taric in a team fight. Like, what can they actually do? Like, that was a reasonably nice pick on the Ezreal, but it doesn't really matter if he has 2 seconds of vulnerability, right? And now that we killed 2 of them, we can just push mid. They can't really do much. Pretty easy push. I don't think we should push anymore, though. That's a little too greedy. We can just back off. If I had a ward, I would have put a ward inside their base right here. Just having the vision in this area would be really nice. Because we can see them clearing the wave right here, or if they rotate up here, which is where our next destination is going to be. I would have put a ward here if I had an extra ward. So I try to run top, but, I mean, Shyvana and Ezreal is so strong, they're just kind of doing a lot of crazy fighting right now. Anyways, I'm here now. Yoo-hoo. I'm just gonna take this tower with the Ezreal. Galio is pushing mid with Baron buff, Yasuo is pushing bot. This is a completely fine setup. Yeah. We're gonna take the third one. Only Twitch is alive. Now, I didn't know where the Twitch was. That's why I kind of ran around like this. but let's just back off. All 4 of them are coming up. It's fine. I'm going to try to stay right next to the Ezreal just in case. I throw out an E just so they can get a little scared. The TF had a sidestep there, which is quite nice. So he wasn't able to get in range to throw a gold card. And now we can get out. So that was a nice zoning E. And once again, just going to leave a ward before I recall. Because I might as well, if I'm going to get more wards anyways. I end up just building a talisman. I could have just upgraded my sightstone, but I thought a talisman would be fun. Gives us more movement speed for engaging. Yeah, this game is pretty much over at this point. We have a pretty noticeable lead. My team is just fighting, so I'm just going to follow them around. I'm going to try to get my W on the Yasuo right here. Unfortunately, I do a pretty bad stun. I think I was a little bit more patient. I couldn't land in my stun. But now I'm just going to ult just in case they try to re-engage on us. So I just want to make sure my entire team is covered in case the Twitch continues autoing. But now I realize that Ezreal's kind of screwed because he's by himself. So I'm going to try to run and save him. I see the TF is going to go on him. So I'm going to try to lock it. I'm going to throw my W on him as soon as I can. Yep. And then I'm going to heal him with a Q so he doesn't die. So that's really important. I used all my shields right there. Try to go for a flash stun on the Twitch. Don't land it, but it doesn't really matter. Shyvana's just pretty strong. Yeah, like Shyvana's just so strong. Like we're just gonna mow them down since we're just so much farther ahead and we have so much more healing. Yeah, that is pretty much the game. So I would say overall, bot lane definitely was the way for us to win this game. I think us getting Shyvana really far ahead with those 2 early flashes burn was really helpful because, like, if both summoners are down bot, like, even though it's a Shyvana, like, we can kill them. Like, Shyvana just runs at them, right? So I think it was really important just to be able to communicate with your jungler. The summoner spells are down, and then even when they were back up, I think Ezra and I played most of our fights really well. I think we managed the wave extremely well, so I was able to get a pretty noticeable EXP lead, and that allowed us to just really snowball the lane because we just got 2 free dragons. We were able to transition our gold lead to top lane to help save the Yasuo who was falling behind. And yeah, I think it was just, Taric was just a really solid pick here, and I think that he's a very strong pick in this patch, especially since there's so many dive comps. Like the Maokai can't really do anything against the Taric. So yeah, I think that's pretty much sums up my thoughts on Taric. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Once again, just always leave a comment letting me know what you guys want to see next.